Hi everyone, it's Marielle. I'm very happy to meet you here and to share the conversation I had with Kristy Van Hoven from the Period Purse, the first registered charity in Canada dedicated to menstrual equity. In today's podcast episode, we're talking about period poverty, a reality that affects 1 in 6 people in Canada, some solution to contribute to menstrual equity, and why it's important to educate young people, including boys, regarding periods. Enjoy!
The taboo is terrible. I remember I was told to stick it up my sleeve. As kids are starting younger and younger with their period, we're trying to get ahead of that. So we love talking to grades 2, grades 3, grade 4, before kids really have to start worrying about their period or worrying about, what do I do? So if early and often education is kind of our mission. Yeah, I love seeing girls now, menstruators in elementary school, they have little period purses, little period packs stuck to their backpack. And it just, everybody knows what that is hanging off the side. And I'm like, oh, yay. I've experienced personally in my life period poverty and have chosen not to buy menstrual products when I've needed them. And so, looking at me, you would never guess. No. I am 1 in 6, but I have been 1 in 6 in my life. The more we know about period poverty, the more we can come up with strategies to fight it.
Hi, Kristy. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Do you want to start to introduce yourself? What's your name? From which organization are you?
Yeah. So my name is Kristy Van Hoven, and I'm from the Period Purse in Toronto. Yay. And we are a menstrual equity organization that works on outreach programs, donating products to communities in need, education, where we go into schools and corporations to talk about periods, and advocacy, where we're working to help everybody get involved with the menstrual equity movement.
And it's very cool because it started by giving menstrual product, but now you develop that with education. And when I was doing my research, I heard the founder telling the story of how it started, and I thought it was so cool. Do you know the story?
I do, yeah. It is a very cool story, and it kind of explains our name because the Period Purse is a very weird name. So our founder, Jana, about 2015, was driving around the streets of Toronto, and much like other big cities in Canada, we have a homeless population. Yeah. And oftentimes they're on the street corners asking for support in some way or another. Jana was driving around town, and a woman did approach her car asking for support. And Jana looked around her car looking to see if she could find something to offer the woman, and she found some menstrual supplies in her purse. And so she handed them out the window, wondering if the woman would need them. And gratefully, the woman accepted them, because many people don't think about donating period supplies.
Well, no, because if you don't have money for food, you certainly don't have money to buy products.
Exactly. And so Jana kind of then drove away, and she was sitting, noodling, thinking about that, and then talked to some friends and neighbors, and they kind of said, yeah, we can do something about this. So they started talking to more friends and more neighbors, collecting period supplies and old purses. Because what do you do with old purses? They just sit in the cupboard. And so they would pack period supplies plus lotion or shampoo, soap, and then distribute them to people as they saw needed them. So that was great. Within the first month, they had distributed 50 purses, and then it grew to 500. And now we've put out 6 million products in communities across the country, which is crazy, but it's not nearly enough. And COVID did a really silly thing to our organization because we weren't able to go out and see people, talk to people. It was very hard to make donations. And so we kind of scaled back a bit, removed the purses, and just focused on menstrual supplies into a plastic bag that could easily be put into anybody's other bags, suitcases, whatever they had on them. Purses became too bulky, too heavy to carry around, an extra bag. And the shelters shelters were saying they were piling up, much like they do in our homes. The purses were also piling up at the shelters. So what do you do with them? And so they were trying to get rid of those. So that's why we no longer give period purses. We do give period packs, which is 1 month of supply in a plastic bag.
Okay.
And people can use the plastic bag for whatever else they need to. But now we're called the period purse, but we don't do period purses anymore.
It is the same.
Same idea, same effect.
Yeah.
And actually a little bit better because we are kind of saving garbage from the shelters and from homeless encampments because people can use the Ziploc bags again for something else, to store food, to store other supplies once they're done with it. So yeah, it's worked better.
And it's concentrated only on single-use menstrual products, or you also give reusable?
Great question. Yeah, we rely on donation. So whatever comes into the organization, we'll put back out to communities in need. So a lot of times people think disposable is the cheaper, most effective thing. So we get a lot of those. But we do get some reusable products, which is really great because in the schools, especially youth shelters, they're very excited about reusable products. And so part of our job is to educate people how to use them. And then we'll make the donation of products so that they can use them safely and they can use them effectively, and kind of help people explore what product is right for them is a very fun thing to do. And we're finding a lot more people are asking about reusable products. Just like us, everybody else is concerned about the environment and don't want the plastic going in, don't want to throw away and worry about, if you don't have a home and you don't have a trash to put stuff in, where do you put your disposables? Nobody knows. Like it's a challenge. So yeah.
And let's put aside environment. Like just if you don't have money to buy food, you don't have money to buy menstrual product. But if you receive a bag from the period purse, you're good for 1 month.
Yep.
But after that, like you rely on donation again.
Yeah.
But with the menstrual reusable, because as you mentioned, people don't think of giving reusables, but it's kind of a real gift. Like you're giving independence from menstrual product for that person. That person is good. Menstrual cup is reusable for up to 10 years. Period underwear, 5 to 10, 5 to 7. Like you're good to go. And after that, you're independent and you don't rely. Because do you lack of supplies sometimes from donation? Or
we've been very lucky that we put a call out and people very much step up and donate a lot. But yeah, that's always a risk to run out of product, either reusable or disposable. Our one big concern about reusable products is how do we keep them clean? So if you don't have a home, if you don't have a regular access to clean water, you have to be very careful about keeping your products clean. So reusable underwear can sometimes be a challenge. And so people will use it once and discard it.
But we don't want that because
we don't want that. But what if you can't wash it?
Yeah.
What do you do with it? So this is the thing my advocacy group is trying to tackle is this is a great way to become less dependent on the period purse for disposables. But we need to advocate for clean water stations across all of our major cities and make sure people have access to keeping things clean and sterile, especially if it's going to go inside your body like a cup or a disc. You want to be very careful about keeping that stuff clean.
But regarding cups and discs, like or any medical grade menstrual product, like if you have water to drink, because homeless people they have water to drink.
Sometimes.
Like in Canada. Oh, not okay.
Not always. That's the challenge.
Yeah. So as a homeless person, you need to be aware of your environment and what resources you have. So if you know that you have access to water, because in Montreal there is a lot of public bathroom accessible. So maybe it's less the case, but depending where you live, if you don't have access to clean water, you cannot use an internal menstrual product.
Right.
Just know. And we don't want the people start to use it as a single use, as a throwable product too, because it will prevent the reusable menstrual product to be given to someone else that would keep it,
But the interesting thing about most silicone is it is biodegradable. So even if it is a single-use product, it's going to biodegrade over time, whereas the
regarding
usable
environment,
parts
I was talking more about the cost-effective.
Yes. So there's cost, there's a lot of things at play, and I think if you have access to water, it's our responsibility as an organization to make sure everybody has the option to choose what they want, what they feel comfortable with. So that's one of our big missions, is to get a variety of products, whether it's underwear, cups, discs, disposables, insert, pads, whatever, so that people can choose what they're most comfortable with, because there's no reason to be forced to use something you're uncomfortable with just because you can't afford it. Like, the best way to feel good about yourself is have the products you need.
Exactly. Yeah. People often ask me, when can you start to use a menstrual disc or menstrual cup? I say, whatever, which all you are, the only requirement is you feel comfortable with the idea of inserting a menstrual cup. You know, whether you have you are 12 years old or 38,
we get that question a lot, especially from girls moving into high school. Like, when can I start using a cup, a disc, a tampon? I'm curious. And it's like, if you're comfortable with your body, try it, enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, try something else. There's lots out there.
Yeah, exactly. So, we just need to be aware of that. We don't want to force anybody, but it's cool that you're talking about silicone being biodegradable, because a lot of people still think that silicone is synonymous for plastic or for latex, but it's not. It's completely different. You can burn it into a fire, be just beside, and smell like it won't.
Not as toxic.
It's not toxic, exactly. So, good. It's a good thing to mention. So, what is period poverty? Because people often think that it exists in other countries, but not in Canada. Oh, no, here in Canada, we are lucky. But what it is.
We are very lucky in Canada, but poverty still exists.
Yeah.
And period poverty still exists. So period poverty, very kind of on a large thought, is when somebody isn't able to afford the supplies they need or have the knowledge they need to take care of themselves or a loved one on their period. So in a 2023 study from the Government of Canada, 1 in 6 Canadians suffer with period poverty and are often choosing rent, food, or transportation over menstrual supplies for their family. And so
that's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And I don't think that's accurate. I think we're getting closer to the accurate number as we're talking more and learning more about period poverty. But I suspect there are more than 1 in 6 Canadians that are suffering with this choice and having to make some difficult decisions. So ultimately, our goal is to combat that with providing knowledge so that people know where to get products that they need, because part of it is accessible issues. So not knowing what products, I was a newcomer to Canada. I know other newcomers to Canada don't even know what's on the market. So where do I buy my period supplies? How much should I be budgeting for my period supplies? What's safe, what's not safe? That's the start of period poverty if you don't know where to go or what to buy. And then if you can't afford it, that's another layer of period poverty, is the actual purchasing of supplies. So we have to combat this with knowledge and resources so that people feel supported.
Because we talk, like in English, it's period poverty. So we only think about like the physical accessible, but there's also, like you just mentioned, the knowledge, being aware of like other option. When I was at elementary school, the nurse talked to us about menstrual product, but she talked to us about tampons and pads, and that was it. And she even suggested us that for people not to know that we are on our period, we should put that in toothbrush paste, like our tampon, in a toothbrush paste, just to make. But that when you're a child and you're hearing that, you record that, oh, okay, I should be ashamed of being on my period.
Right.
Okay, nobody should know. But this is contributing to stigmas and...
Absolutely. The taboo is terrible. I remember I was told to stick it up my sleeve. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
keep it in your pocket, tuck it up your sleeve. And I love seeing girls now, menstruators in elementary school. They have little period purses, little period packs stuck to their backpack. And it just, everybody knows what that is, hanging off the side. And I'm like, oh, yay.
Yeah,
it's a little more visible. It's still tucked away in a pretty bag, but a pretty bag that everybody knows what's in it. And you can ask a friend and even a non-menstruating friend, a guy friend will sometimes carry supplies. So that's a big win.
What do you suggest? Because you're giving a workshop like educational content. What do you suggest to a girl that feel intimidated by another one because she's trying to say, "Oh, you're on your period"? Like, what do you recommend to? How do you recommend to react or to say or like? So she's more empowered.
Question.
Like,
just I think it's okay for us all to be kind of scared, nervous, a little inside ourselves about it, because it is a very personal experience. So, you're thinking about body functions, and we don't always yell down the hall that we have to go poop. So, we have to kind of understand that some people are more comfortable with their bodies than others. But I think the best thing to do is just to talk about this openly and honestly, scientifically, and just really, moms and daughters can talk, dads and daughters can talk, brothers and sisters can talk, just have it be part of a normal dinner conversation. Have it be a conversation with friends. I know I probably talked more about my friends with my period than I ever did with my parents about my period. So, as an adult, I feel like I need to make sure my niece and I guess my other nieces, I have nieces on both sides of the family, just feel that they're supported. They can ask me any questions if they have them, that I'm not going to say, stick it up your sleeve and don't ask me questions. I'll be very matter of fact and scientific about, my answers. What is a period? Well, it's, the bleeding time of your menstrual cycle, and your menstrual cycle is how you refresh your uterus, and just be comfortable with the words. So my challenge to the grownups out there is know the words, be comfortable saying them.
Yeah, you're right.
It's okay to say vagina. It's okay to say uterus. It's okay to say period.
It's okay to say vagina.
And I know sometimes, in certain social situations that can be really uncomfortable. And I think even if you say it quietly, just say the actual words. Just be okay with that and lead by example. And if you're a kid listening and what do I do? How do I start the conversation? I think it's okay to find a cozy spot at home with a parent or a trusted adult and just ask questions, whatever you're curious about. Don't look on TikTok. I love TikTok. TikTok's fun. Not where you get the best information.
Depends which account, though.
Yeah.
No, because we just received an invitee, and she's on TikTok, and she's a nurse, and she's sharing like very pertinent information. So just want to.
Okay, if it's a nurse, if a healthcare professional, yes, listen to TikTok, but. I would add like to the point, if a teenager feel intimidated by another one, like just asking, okay, but why are you trying to shame me about something that it's thanks to that you're born? Yeah. Like, everyone is, you're, whatever, if you're a girl or a boy, because of menstrual cycle that you're here. So why should I be ashamed? Like, maybe ask, like, reverse the question. Okay, why are you trying to shame me about that? I don't know. Maybe. I like to go back with, well, what's your actual question? Why are you being silly? Why are you, sometimes there can be mean conversation. And I like to say, now wait, like what's your actual question? What are you trying to say? And see if we can stop the uncomfortable and answer the question, because there's usually something deeper if somebody's being mean or somebody's being rude or snarky, being silly, that there's usually something else behind it. So what is that?
And I'm not saying that it's not okay to not feel comfortable if someone trying to intimidate you. Like, we are both adult here. Like, if someone's trying to intimidate you, just the fact that you know that someone is this is intimidating, so you might not feel the courage at that time. So if you don't feel the courage because you just know that the person wants to be nasty with you, it's okay too. But
it's okay to walk away. You don't have to listen to it. Just
good point.
Walk away.
When you receive a gift, you don't have to accept it.
Right.
So
right.
Good point. I like that.
So my favorite recommendation to anybody ever feeling like they're being pushed in a direction they don't want to be, walk away. Like, just
fight or flight, huh?
It's not flight. It's knowing your worth. It's valuing your body and not giving somebody mean the time of day. Walk away.
Yeah. But I think it's important also to mention what we could do, because if you don't have the idea, like, you're less, you have less tool to respond. So,
and love yourself. It just because they're saying something mean doesn't mean that it's true. So love yourself. Love yourself. This is your body. This is your body doing great things. It will be uncomfortable at times. We've all suffered, pain and exhaustion and all the things that come with a period, but it's your body, and embrace it and love it. And, if you have concerns, talk to a doctor, talk to a trusted adult, and get your answers or your questions answered. But try to love your body as much as you can, because you're kind of stuck with it for a while.
Yeah. And to go toward menstrual equity, what, as your organization, what are the biggest challenges that you're facing?
A couple of big challenges is the need of period poverty is so great. Like I said, we've donated 6 million products, and that's not even making a difference, really. We could probably do hundreds of millions of products every year and still not reach everybody. So one of our biggest challenges as an organization is getting enough products in that we can get out. So whether people are donating products, donating money so that we can have big buying pools for shelters. I mean, that's really cool when we have enough funds that we can buy in bulk and actually make a huge difference. Do you
prefer to receive product or money? Because do you have a storage challenge?
Yeah. So because we're a national organization, money goes the furthest. The cash will go the furthest because we can purchase from a company and send it directly to a shelter. People who donate products to us, we love them because we can send them out, but it tends to be a challenge if we have to send to, because we're Toronto based, if we have to send to Halifax, that becomes an expense. If we have to send to Edmonton, that becomes an expense. So we like both. We like whatever we can get. We will make sure to communities.
I'm not saying don't do that. Just
cash is great because that helps us make the largest impact. It also helps us support our education programs. So we often try and go into schools so that we can have conversations face to face with students. We like to go into the boardrooms and really sit leaders down and have a conversation about what menstrual equity means in the workplace. So being able to get people to those important conversations is really important to us as an organization. Although we could do it online, it makes more of an impact when you're seeing somebody in person, right?
So true. Like here, the podcast is not to invalidate workshop because yes, you have the info, but it's not the same to talk about. Like, it's good if you have the info as a starting point, but when you're sharing personal experience, it's bringing the conversation so much more for
and it becomes more personal because you can see somebody, you can see how they're reacting, and with the kids, especially as they're learning about tampons and learning about cup, like you can show them online, but in a classroom, we could pass tampons around and everybody can try one and not try, but figure out how they work. We can open a package. We can try. We can.
There is an application.
You can touch it, right? We're not all going to take off our pants and try it. But so that that removes kind of some of the fear around what are these products and how do you use them? What do they feel like? What do they, smell like? Sometimes products smell, which is disgusting. Nobody should have scented products, but that's all stuff that you don't get online. So we love to travel as far as we can to as many places as we can to.
Is it most elementary school, high school, both?
Both. So as kids are starting younger and younger with their period, we're trying to get ahead of that. So we love talking to grades 2, grades 3, grade 4, before kids really have to start worrying about their period or worrying about, what do I do? So if early and often education is kind of our mission. So start early, talk about it as much as you can, as often as you can, through high school and beyond. When we talk about menstrual equity, a really important thing that often gets forgotten is the workplace. So what does it mean for people who menstruate who have to go to work? One, if you don't have supplies, you can't go to work, so you're missing out on a paycheck. That's just adding to poverty. But is there opportunities to be flexible for the workplace? Can you work remotely for a day or two while you're, going through the early stages of your period or coming out of it? Are there personal leave days where if, somebody has a condition that really puts them out for periods, which is a lot more than what the statistics say, is that an acceptable use of time for a company? So we try to engage those leaders in the corporate sector as well to have policy around employment.
Yeah. Do you see more and more companies that offer menstrual leave? Here in Quebec, we're starting. It's starting.
Yeah, it's starting. And I think a lot of people have just never thought about it. So
exactly,
the more people ask, and I would challenge anybody that's negotiating a contract to ask, what is your menstrual leave policy? And if they say no, make a recommendation. In my contract, I want 1 day a month where it's a personal day and you can trust me that I'm going to use it appropriately. I'm not going to abuse. So we try and help guide kind of some of that thinking and decision around what does it mean to support a menstruator in the workplace, from having supplies accessible in the washroom like toilet paper and soap. That should be a no-brainer in every washroom across Canada. But it is a hard sell for some to, supporting with leave, supporting with remote work when needed, if that's accessible. You can't have a pilot do remote work, but
And most of the time, menstrual leave just end up at being remote working.
Yeah.
Often the person is still checking emails, or if really in the morning she's it's painful, she can't take a break, but it's not really, okay, I'm giving you a personal leave and you can go do what.
Right.
It's not vacancy. It's not
generally
holiday. It's not a holiday.
It's not a holiday. Yeah.
Sorry, my English.
No, it's good. Generally, if you're taking a day off for your period, it's not because you want to day drink. It's because you don't want to get out of bed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but if the employer is open-minded, it can be more productive too for the company.
Absolutely.
Just offering that, because the person, if she can work from her bed, she instead of taking a personal day or and the fact that the person can rest.
Yes.
She will, when she needs it.
Yep.
After that, she will be even more productive.
Exactly.
So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy. And
and a lot of times people feel really energized right before their period. So having the opportunity to kind of flex hours and not work a strict 7-hour day or a 9 to 5 day, however that's structured, I think would be really beneficial to everybody, because men feel the same way. Non-menstruators have good days and bad days. Why doesn't everybody just get a reset day every month?
And I know that for some profession, it's not possible. If you're a surgeon,
right,
you cannot work from home.
Right.
So I do get that, but when it's possible, it's beneficial for everybody. And when you're going into workplaces, and same question for school too.
Yeah.
Do you talk to everybody, like menstruator and non-menstruator, or just the people are menstruating that are interested into that subject? How is it working for work and for workplaces and for school?
One of our requirements, we are flexible, but we try not to be, is to have everybody in the room, because our ultimate goal is to have period allies. We were at a conference earlier and I had period ally bags I was handing out to everybody. So whether you're a menstruator or a non-menstruator, you can always be a period ally.
Yeah.
You can be there to support people that are menstruating. You can, bring chocolate or ice cream when they need it. You can give a quick back rub if somebody asks. So we like to have those conversations with anybody that doesn't menstruate so they know how to be supportive and make good decisions and not be afraid to grab a tampon if somebody yells for a tampon. We're finding, especially in the lower grades, a lot of non-menstruators are now starting to carry around a supply or two that they get from their mom or their menstruating parents, and just have it on hand, and they know who's the safe person to ask for supply, whether it's a boy, a girl, any menstruator or non-menstruator. So we love that. And usually non-menstruators are less embarrassed to ask questions. So there may be burning questions sitting amongst the group, but anybody that menstruates is too nervous because it's about their body and their experience. Where a non-menstruator will say, I have nothing to lose. I'm going to ask this question. And then it kind of gets the conversation flowing, which is really fun to see all those wheels working in his brain, connecting dots. Yeah.
That's so interesting. Yeah. And how do you see the future for menstrual equity? You talked to us about the challenges. What else could we do better to improve, or what support would you like to have if you had a magic wand? I don't know.
Yeah, magic wand. I love magic wands. If I had a magic wand, I wouldn't have a job anymore because I wouldn't need to have a job. No, I think, the big goal, the ultimate goal, I think we all talk about in the movement is having free and accessible quality supplies in washrooms, so that somebody has a choice on what they need. We put toilet paper in, we put soap in washrooms. Nobody questions that. Yes, that needs to be in a washroom. Also pads, tampons, even reusable underwear. For our non-binary friends, they need something else that feels more comfortable. So let's make all period supplies accessible and free wherever we can so that people are comfortable and supported.
And can you precise, what do you mean by quality menstrual product?
Quality menstrual products are not from the dollar. I love a good dollar store shop, but there's a variety of products on the market, and some are non-absorbent or very low absorbency. Some are very toxic or have lots of chemicals. Pads, even tampons can disintegrate over time. And so when we think about supplying en masse, we need to also talk about quality and not have gross things, unusable products. That's not checking the box. Checking the box is being able to offer somebody choice and quality. If it's something you wouldn't put on your body or in your body, don't make somebody else do it.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And you were talking about reusable period pads. Our organization also starting to offer menstrual cups, because it's this time menstrual cup is one size fits most, but if not, there is 2 or 3 sizes of menstrual cup. So you can just offer people the option and to sanitize them. It's very simple. Or you can leave some rubbing alcohol, or you can just put that into a cup, into the microwave. You make the water boil, you put your cup in it, and 5 minutes later, like your cup is sanitized.
Yeah.
So like it can be a backup product too. And after that, if the person just like menstrual underwear or menstrual pad, if they like it, after that, they won't be taking any more backup product because they will always have it with them. So like, okay, maybe it's more, there is more cost associated to reusable menstrual product at first, but for organization like long term, if they are keeping their employee and they are a good employer, they will save money at the end. So
exactly. I love that solution. And in fact, I haven't really put those dots together in my brain that we probably should be talking to corporations, to, businesses about reusables are probably the option because your employee is going to come back day after day. It's their job. So, and if it's a benefit, you're supporting your employees above and beyond. Like, what an incredible way to show support for your employees is making the $40 investment, like over the long run.
And I don't know for other companies, but at Fornix, we give big discounts for people that offering it for free. Yeah, just to encourage that. Yeah. So it's not even like $40 that they have.
Right. Yes, use your buying power if you're a big corporation.
Exactly. Yes. And anyway, if your employee are quitting often, you're probably not the candidate of a workplace that will offer menstrual products. So
maybe that would keep your employees around longer.
It's what I mean. Right? It's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like if you have this kindness of thinking about that, it's probably because you treat your employee well and your employee will stay. So it's even more pertinent to think about the reusable options. Yeah. And not saying that everybody, for many reasons, some people don't want to use period underwear or menstrual. So it's okay, but at least like offer the option.
Yeah.
And,
and across the board, because a non-menstruator is going to know a menstruator. So even if they have access to a cup or a disc or underwear, whatever, the supply is, that would be an awesome thing to offer somebody that maybe has a menstruator at home or a menstruating child. But
that like it can. I don't want like employers think, oh, everybody will do that, and I don't want to spend too much money. Like
we often get, well, this is only the women. Why would we only just support the women? Why is it just So there's no reason. There's no reason you couldn't offer it to everybody.
About that to us, can you share a bit more about that? Like, it's not the same. Like,
so that's when we're driving into menstrual equity. When we talk about 51% of the Canadian population menstruates, that's a lot of people, and families are made up of all types of people with all types of biological makeup. So, the weird conversations around, it's women's health, it's a woman's problem, it's not my problem.
That are not watching it like you doing it.
Kristy's moving her hands like stuffing pillows behind her back. Yeah, and so. What we're really trying to do, what I try and do with my advocacy group and what we do at the Period Purse is say it's a population problem. And it's not really a problem, like that's masking a bit, but everybody should be involved in the conversation. Everybody should know about periods and how that affects a person's body. Lots of different gender identities menstruate, so it's not women. It's not a women's conversation. We're at the forefront because we're loud and proud and willing to kind of sit down and have these great conversations. So I think, you could continue the taboo by saying, just offer your menstruating population this benefit, or break down a bit of the taboo, break the stigma a bit and say, everybody, you have access. And if you're taking it for your mom, if you're taking it for your sister or, a son that's menstruating, then so be it. Like, who cares? Because everybody, 1 in 6 people are affected by period poverty. So somebody could still be living in a great house, have a great job, but circumstances means they can't afford period supplies for some reason or another. I've experienced personally in my life period poverty and have chosen not to buy menstrual products when I've needed them. And so, looking at me, you would never guess. No. I am 1 in 6, but I have been 1 in 6 in my life. So we can't make that assumption.
It's not a label that you have for all your life.
Right.
It's a situation. It can last a few months or it can last many years, fortunately. But, it's not something that, okay, I have a label. I'm a poor person. Right. It's not that. We need to precise that. There's no shame of living period poverty.
No, there is no shame around it. In fact, kind of speak up. The more we know about period poverty, the more we can come up with strategies to fight it. And you're right, it's not a label that sticks with you. It's something probably, that's why I say the number is not 1 in 6. It's got to be more, because if it's month over month, things change. You could have a good month, make a lot of money, and then 2 months later, not be making money and not have that bank account to support what you need. And then 2 months down the road, make more money and be fine. So period poverty changes every month for some people. And
I wanted to add something when you said everybody should be aware of menstruation. I said it that way. And someone else told me, but you know what? Most of people know that happen, but they don't we need to inform how is it working, what can so there is less stigmas associated to that. How often a guy is saying to a woman that is a bit indignant and frustrated about something, you're defending her point or whatever, are you on your period? A
bit antagonizing and just
exactly. If we're informed not just say, menstruation exists. No,
right.
Menstruation exists. Here is how it's working and why it's happening and what can happen. Bring the conversation a bit. But I know that you're doing that, but just want to emphasize that.
Yeah, we try because you're right. It's not okay. Periods happen. Menstruation happens. Let's go. It is. This is the effect. This is what's happening in bodies that are producing all these different things: emotional, hormone changes, physical changes. And I think it's really great if we start reframing the conversation as a biological one, as a scientific one, as opposed to even sex ed. When you get lost in sex ed, there's stigma associated with that. So why don't we move this biological process that's in no way related to sex? You don't need one for the other. So they're not exactly related. Same kind of body parts involved, but not really. So let's talk about menstruation.
It can sometimes.
Absolutely.
It can, but it doesn't.
They are interrelated, but they're not dependent on each other, right?
Yeah.
So when we're talking about menstruation, it's beyond sex. It's beyond, an intimate conversation. Not that it can't be. It can be. But it is very much this is how a body works conversation. And I think we need to move curriculum there. We need to have the conversations outside of sex ed. And I think that would fight the stigma a lot.
And it's a sign of a good health. It's the 5th vital sign. So if we are menstruating, it's a good sign when you perceive your menstruation that way instead of just it's a trouble for a few days. We have to manage, we have to think of changing our... When you think that, okay, that means that I'm in good health. So it's more easy to accept the situation and live with it,
Yeah, and I think if we take the conversation out of sex ed and we talk about health and we talk about what a body should be acting like, working like, feeling like, that plays into nutrition, that plays into exercise, all the things that help with some of the pain and symptom management of menstruation gets lost because who goes for a run to be sexy? Nobody.
Well, I'm sure some people do, but
lots of people run to look great, to have a lot of stamina, but I don't know about you. When I come home from a run, I am not sexy. I need to make myself sexy. So again, when we're talking about, managing and being well and being fit with our periods, it has nothing to do with sex. So it should live in a how do you care for your body conversation over, what are your reproductive organs doing every month? And I find when I'm talking with a lot of our clients, with our shelters, that nobody even knows what foods they should be eating to help manage cramps or to manage bloating, or, what exercise is great to do when you're ramping up to your period or when you're on your period or afterward. So a lot of those questions come out when we're doing our education sessions is, how do we actually take care of ourselves? Because nobody's told us how to take care of ourselves.
And you are sharing that information to the workshop?
We're trying. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. If it's appropriate.
Yeah.
Sometimes, can't talk about some things in some situations, but yeah.
And you're talking about pain, and you made me think of something, because menstrual poverty can affect the accessibility to menstrual product, but also to painkillers, because some people, they have a lot of pain and they have to take a lot of painkiller, and sometimes you don't have the money to afford it.
Yep.
Are you also attacking that side? Are you also offering painkiller, or it's okay if you don't?
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
No, great question. You're right. So period poverty is beyond the supply, the product. So that's why I like to save supplies, because we don't need just pads, tampons, whatever, to control the bleeding. Underwear that may get ruined, clothes that may get ruined, pain medicine, but also sometimes just a hot water bottle will do it. But if you don't have access to water or to a way to heat it up, then you can't even have a warm hot water bottle, or sometimes access to space, clean air, places to exercise. Some people don't have that luxury. And, thinking about friends that may be sitting in wheelchairs, how do they manage with the added cost of their accessibility devices? That plays into period poverty as well. And how do you, as an independent person in a wheelchair, manage your periods and all the extra supplies that would go into supporting a non-abled body in the menstruation journey? So we don't often donate extra supplies. We do sometimes regular underwear along with period products. We have,
and just want to add a little more. Like you said ruin your underwear, but it's okay to use a brownish underwear.
Absolutely. It is totally okay.
Yeah.
But also, if you're somebody that is uncomfortable with that, if it feels dirty to you, you shouldn't have to keep wearing stuff.
Just wanted to precise that if you do think it's okay that you do think that.
Yeah. Wash and rewear. And my fun trivia fact for anybody, when you bleed on something, whether you've cut your finger and you've bled on, your shirt or something, if you have period blood, your spit has the same enzymes as your blood. And if you spit, it will eliminate the blood stain out of anything. Okay. It's a fun magic party. I mean, don't cut yourself at a party, but if you happen to find yourself bleeding on something, you spit, but only you. You can't spit for your children. You can't spit for anybody else that's genetic related. It is an individual thing.
Really? Wow.
Everybody can go home and try it. The next time, you have a cut, even put it on a paper towel or something, spit on it, it will disappear. Yeah.
That's funny.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
If you're bleeding a lot, that's not going to work with.
Fun fact, but very pertinent, I think.
Super pertinent. So there have been times, oversharing, but there have been times where I'm like, I need to get this stain out of my underwear.
And sorry, I want to get more details about that. When when it's dried.
Yeah. It's gone.
Does it... No, but when it's dried, Can you, like, is it too late? Can you still spit on it?
So long as it hasn't gotten hot. So hot water,
Okay.
dryers, set stains.
Okay.
But if it's just like, I've worn it all day, like I used to work on a farm, and so I'd get hurt
But anyway,
all the time.
let's
So it would dry. I mean, it would be good.
Cool.
So long, yeah, I wouldn't wash and dry, but yeah, if it's
okay.
like
But, you know,
air dried through the day, yeah, you're good. You're
Yeah,
good.
but-
Spit on it.
yeah, but thank you for sharing that info.
Yeah.
I'm a
Fun
tech.
fact.
Yeah.
But again, you can't do it for anybody else. It's
No, I know.
individual, only you. You can't do it for your kids, so you have to teach your kids how to do it. Yeah. So got sidetracked. Oh yeah. So we don't at the Period Purse offer medication because we work with a lot of harm reduction organizations. We don't want to distribute any controlled substances. So sometimes we have
Oh, yeah.
we have gotten like homemade rice bags, heating pads. We'll ask some of our partners if they're interested in stuff like that, and it's up to them to say yes, we'd love to have those, or no.
Yeah.
So we really focus on the period products, underwear, sometimes cleaning wipes, but generally we try and stick very focused. But then we'll talk to others and how they can connect with our partners to donate medication if that's appropriate.
Yeah. And what do you have any suggestion if we want to better live period, like individually and collectively? What else could we do? Anything in your mind that you wish you would have known before? Except the spitting.
It's the spit thing. That is my favorite fact to share. I think as I am growing in this role at the Period Purse and getting to chat with more people about periods, I'm really inspired to hear people wanting to be period allies, but just not knowing where to start. So I often say, go to theperiodpurse.com, we have a ton of resources, how to use products, how to talk to kids about periods, how to start the conversation. So visit a trusted source like the Period Purse. If you have a great nurse friend on TikTok, and go to TikTok, and just learn what the good words are, what the good conversation opener is. If we could all be period allies to each other, what a magical world we would live in.
It is,
Yeah.
I wish. One day.
I
still believe in it, I do.
Absolutely.
I do, because I'm forced to see that it's not now the case.
Yeah.
Because when we're working into the industry, like everybody's okay to talk about it. So you kind of forget that, oh no, the stigma still does exist.
It does.
But it does. Yeah.
But we all have families, and so Thanksgiving dinner, my whole family gets to hear me talk about work.
Good.
So it's a lot of period conversations coming to people I didn't think would ever have to talk about periods in their lives.
Thank you for what you're doing, and I think you're bringing a lot to the society.
Yeah.
And so at the end of every episode, I'm asking the invitee if she does remember when she first had her period. Do you remember?
I don't. It's so funny.
It talks a lot when a person doesn't remember, because that means that it hasn't been a traumatic event, or, you know.
Yeah, I have worked at the Period Purse for a year and a half, and I have been thinking for a year and a half, like, what is my most memorable period experience? And I don't remember much. And I think I have a wonderful mom, and we kind of just had an open household, talked about medicine all the time, despite my mom's fear of blood. Okay. Her dad was a doctor. My aunt's a doctor, like lots. I was in the medical field before this. So lots of medicine talking. So I think it was always comfortable for us. So I think the most memorable experiences I've had is with the Period Purse, going into communities where I'm hearing people say, thank you for listening to my story. Thank you for letting me share. And thank you for looking at ways that we can change that and including me in the conversation. I think we often think we know what's best. And so opening that conversation to everybody is an incredible way to build a community and just have everybody participate
Totally agree.
Yeah.
So one day we will be there.
One day, every day we're taking a step closer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Kristy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you for having a great product. I don't know if I can say it now, but I love that discs are able to be used by anybody and it's not size dependent. So if anybody out there is looking to try and they're scared of the cup, scared of, figuring out the right size, maybe start with a disc.
Yeah.
See if that's the first comfortable thing that you can find. And you don't have to worry about sizing, which is great.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid with your body. And the other thing we like to tell kids, grown-ups, anybody that'll listen, is you don't have to wait till you're on your period to try supplies, try products. Like,
oh, it's true. You can try it with water lubricant.
Yep.
Even with tampons, but tampons you don't have
Probably
to leave
not.
it too long because it will absorb.
But you can open it. You can figure out how it works
before you need it.
Before you need it, right? We all get really panicked when we're on our period, and making sure that things are contained. It's like, explore before you need it, and that feel comfortable with everything.
Good advice, Jen. Good. Thank you, Kristy. Bye.
Thank you.